Today's gonna get a bit dangerous because I will be testing out products that are designed for animals on myself. I'm talking things like a dog shock collar around my neck all the way to the highest level, to a full-on bear trap that's not designed for human use, obviously, but somehow I got my hands on one. This is gonna be crazy, obviously very reckless, so do not try anything you're about to watch at home. This is not for human use at all. It honestly shouldn't even be for animal use either, because a lot of these are crazy. So without further ado, grab your popcorn and let's do this. So the first animal product I'll be testing on myself is going to be the smallest of the 3 traps that we have today, and that is a mouse trap. Now, even though mouse traps are small, I'm still not going to test it on myself because I don't want this video completely demonetized, and so I'm going to be using this ballistic hand right here and putting a couple of fingers into the trap to see if ultimately it chops the fingers off, which I don't believe, but we have 2 traps after this that I think will actually at least sever the hand off. All right, so level 1, the mouse trap, we have our human hand right here, so I'm just going to slide this finger right in like he's trying to steal a cookie from this mouse trap, and this should probably break the finger. A little bit nervous here. Okay, he's going to have to approach with a couple fingers. Oh, okay. Our guy's actually pretty resilient, so it's definitely stuck to his finger. I don't think it broke anything, fortunately for him. But let's take a closer look. Okay, so I mean, upon further investigation, maybe sprain the bone now that I'm going a bit closer. But I'm actually surprised that he took that as well as he did. But it doesn't end there because now he's on to level 2. The next trap that we'll be testing out is going to be a raccoon or a squirrel trap. Now, this is meant for larger rodents or I guess small animals under 15 pounds or so. This thing effectively just traps them in. So if you have to get rid of certain pests in your backyard, this is what they'll ultimately come with. Now, this is obviously not meant for humans to use on themselves, and so once again, I'm going to be using this on something else. We saw what happened to the hand, so I'm going to test the hand again to see what happens this time. So I had Michael with me who was assisting with setting some of these traps up, and as he was setting up the level 2 trap, this happened. So basically what he was doing is slowly letting the trap collapse so that it didn't end up hitting his hand because we wanted to set it in a straight position before we ultimately filmed it, but unfortunately things didn't go as planned. Everything's okay though, his thumb was able to slip out because the trap was greased, so no injuries. But I can't say that for the bear trap. All right, here we go. Whoa, okay. Looks to have bruised the knuckles a little bit. I think the middle finger is broke from that. Okay, so that did a number, especially on the middle finger. Obviously way worse than level 1, but the final level, the bear trap, is going to be much, much worse. All right, so for level 3, it only makes sense that we have a bear with us because we're going to literally be using a full-sized 800-pound illegal bear trap. So this thing is not legal to own in the United States. You at least can't have it shipped to you, and so I had to go through a lot of loopholes and get this from our neighbors in Canada. So shout out to Canada for giving me an $800 bear trap. Do not try this at home. I can't emphasize that enough. This is purely for educational purposes only because this thing is literally a weapon. Okay, so here we go. This is what it looks like. This thing looks like a medieval torture device. This thing is probably 30 pounds. It came in and I just didn't believe it when it came because there's no way that this thing should be in possession by a human. I guess unless you're going bear hunting. Okay, so here's what this thing looks like. There you'll see the teeth on it. And basically what you do is just open this up and then when something sets foot into it, it, like I said, collapses and those teeth just dig right into it. And this is just pure steel metal. This thing is like 30 pounds at least. I'm not looking forward to even setting this up because this thing looks wild. So apparently to set these traps up, you have to have insane amounts of pressure clamping down so you can properly open the jaws up. And so we had to run to Home Depot to get a couple clamps and then we set it up outside. And after we applied the pressure, the bear trap was finally set up and this is what it looks like. So the moments those clamps go away, bear trap goes bam. And those jaws will take off literally a bear's foot. And that's when we had an idea. What if instead of putting the human hand replica in there, which we know is just going to break immediately, or even that red bear, which is probably just not even going to go through it, what if we actually put this guy through the bear trap? But that came with its own issue because we were planning to do things outside, but now we had to bring this highly sensitive, highly powerful bear trap inside. And so the way we decided to move it was not by touching with our bare hands in case something went wrong and it collapsed on our fingers, breaking all of them. We decided to use tape, which we roped through, and then we just basically had it dangled down and we just brought it inside. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was too scared of this thing to set it up because what you have to do at this point in order to make it active is take the clamps off. And so that's where Michael stepped up and he decided to activate the bear trap. And this is what happened. Don't put your hand over the trap.
I know, it's like...
So Michael's life flashed before his eyes, but obviously he's okay, so everything's good there. But I kid you not, I was sold a faulty bear trap because that thing is not supposed to be set off until you put pressure towards the middle. The clamps are used to set it up, but when you remove the clamps, it's just active. It shouldn't be going off just from removing a clamp. So we're obviously unable to try this again because it is extremely unsafe. So do not, whatever you do, purchase a bear trap. I don't even think it's legal anyways, but it is now retired into the Hall of Fame in the background, as you can see on the wall there. Moving on. You're probably wondering why I'm showing you a spoon. Well, the reason being is is because we are about to test, in the form of eating, this next animal product, which is quite literally the most expensive food in the world, Almas caviar, which is $35 per gram, and this thing is 30 grams. So do the math. This is a very expensive thing that I have in front of me right here. It's got gold 24 karat trim all around it, and we're gonna open this up and give it a little tasting. The only animals that are actually able to even access this outside of the sturgeons themselves that create the caviar are bears that live in like the Iranian mountains or something. So for whatever reason, I got my hands on it and we're gonna give it a try. Okay, so here's what it looks like. It kind of looks like creamed corn when you look up close. Normal caviar is usually black, so it's kind of interesting to see this yellow hue here. Otherwise though, looks like normal caviar. Right here, we have about a $500 scoop of caviar. Let's give it a smell. Very salty, kind of unpleasant. I usually like caviar because of the saltiness, but this is like overly salty. What you're witnessing right here might just be the most expensive bite that any human has ever had of food, so let's give it a try. Okay, that is not that good. That should be like 3 cents per gram, not 35 cents per gram. Oh, it's so salty. Oh, it doesn't even smell good. It smells fishy and salty, like caviar on steroids. It's like all the bad parts about caviar are just like, oh, I could see why this is like a very niched, valuable item, because like who has the taste for that? Jeez. If I was a bear in Iran in the mountains and rivers and I came across a sturgeon, snatched it up, and I saw the baby caviar attached to it and I gave it one sniff, I would throw that sturgeon away because that is a very unpleasant smell and arguably an even worse taste. So this is not very good. This creamed corn caviar that is the most expensive food in the world. Yes, it's an animal product and only animals can access it and is for animals, but it is not for humans because that does not taste very good. I feel scammed. Let's move on. The next product I have here is a bear horn. So it's a super loud horn in which you're supposed to use on a trail if you expect there to be bears nearby. It's not to deter a bear that's already charging towards you, because I think in that case you'd probably be done for, but if you just expect there to be bears just generally in the vicinity, you use this and it will apparently just keep them away from you. So the way this works is you use it in short bursts. You just kind of like every 2 seconds or so click it, and then the sound comes out just like an air horn, but it's apparently super loud, so I'm gonna try to stay back here. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Whoa, okay. Wow, that is so loud. Okay, let me put some headphones in. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm gonna do it for an extended period for about 3 seconds, so you may wanna plug your ears, because if this gets rid of bears, it will certainly get rid of a human. 3, 2, 1. Wow, and the can freezes up too from like clicking it for longer than a couple of seconds. This would certainly be a good thing to bring along with you. It's probably good even as like a defense mechanism if you're like walking home at night and you see somebody nearby. This thing is really loud and it's pretty compact. You just like keep it in your purse or something and you could probably like fend off a good amount of people. I'm starting to feel bad for bears at this point between that bear trap and everything else we're about to look at, because I don't think they deserve any of this harsh stuff. Well, they'd probably kill us, so maybe a little bit. The next animal product that I'll be testing on myself is none other than a dog shock collar. So if you don't know what a shock collar is, it's basically a collar that goes around a dog's neck and it zaps them with low levels of electricity to essentially shock them if they're misbehaving, or of course if they go outside of a designated area. So if you've ever seen a shock fence before, this is where it's coming from. This thing apparently has 16 levels of electricity. Do not use this shock collar for the dog if it's not in good health. Do not leave it on for more than 12 hours per day. Do not put on if you are a human. Okay, well, just ignore that I read that right there, because I'm going to break that law right now. You know, I used to think these things were fairly barbaric, so this is going to be interesting to see what the actual pain is, because I always felt bad when a dog was like shocked by one of these. All right, that is a very big ball right here, and you'll see it emits some sort of electricity through these nodes. Wow, I am not excited about this. Okay, so I officially have it set up. As you can see, it's like directly into my neck, so these nodes are just like in my Adam's apple. Kind of hurts, it's a little bit uncomfortable. We're going to start off with level 1, and it goes up to 16, so it's going to be increasingly more powerful each shock. This would probably be like for a Maltese or a small level dog. That was weird. That was a weird sensation. It was just like a vibrate. It's like somebody like lightly choked you for a second, but you don't hate it. You know, it's not like the worst thing ever. That was weird. What a weird sensation. Okay, level 2. Okay, a little bit longer. I'm sure you could like tell that it was a little bit bigger that time. Let's crank it up to level 3. Ooh, okay. Starting to like feel it for sure. Let's go to level 4 now. Okay, I don't like these frequencies. It doesn't like really hurt yet. Level 6. Oh, like makes me swallow. Level 7. Level 7 wasn't that bad. Level 8. Okay, I'm fine. Halfway there. Level 9. Oh, I'm feeling it now. Oh, that was like a ramp up. 9 to 10 was definitely a good amount. Okay, let's go 11. Ooh, that was sharp. That was sharp. Ooh, imagine you're just a dog, like... Ugh. Level 12. Oh, okay. Level 13. We have 4 levels left. Ooh! Level 14. Okay, 2 more levels. Level 15. Oh, I almost audibly wanted to say E right there. Okay, and then the final level, level 16, because after this, it just goes back to 1. So level 16, we're gonna zap on 3, 2, 1. This was one of the dumbest things I've ever done. I don't know how dogs just get like zapped constantly and ignore it. It's one of those things, it causes like a ringing in your head from getting like, that was just in my neck right there. These 2 things right here in my neck. Yeah, you can kind of see like 2 dots because it was just shocking me. Hope it's not permanent. All right, I do not recommend doing that. I did that for the sake of science and because I am testing animal products because I want to see if they're humane or not. And this, honestly, it wasn't that bad to the extent where I think it's inhumane, but I know what's going on. If you're just an animal and you're just getting shocked for doing nothing, it's kind of crazy. So I'm not the biggest fan of this. I'm glad I tried it though, because now I know what dogs experience when they get shocked. Whew, need a water break after that. All right, so this next animal product we're gonna be testing out is a milker specifically for goats. So I'm about to milk myself with this machine. It's basically something you set up to the udders of any mammal, and then of course it will like extract the milk. Seeing as I don't think I create any prolactin in my nipples, I actually have some baby feeding bottles that I'll be filling with a milk-like substance, and then seeing if this milking machine will ultimately extract the milk from the nipple. And who knows, maybe afterwards I will try it on myself. So somehow between these 3 items, we're ultimately able to extract milk. So I guess this is like some jug to hold the milk. This is something to like power it. And then we have a bunch of different tubes and suction stuff to, I guess this goes inside of the nipple and then you just like pull from here. All right, so I believe we're all set up now. So in this bottle, I have milk from an almond cow because it's almond milk. I didn't have any actual dairy milk, but nonetheless, it should work. So I have the 3 devices hooked up. This is gonna be the suction cup that goes onto this nipple here. And this almond milk should be transferred into this container within about 1 minute. So I'm gonna turn it on and then I'm going to put this onto here and then lift this clamp. All right, let's see if it sucks the milk. Oh, so some milk is actually flowing. We are extracting some milk. Does it really take that long to get milk out? I guess so. Look at that. Mother Nature doing its thing. Or I guess we're manipulating it. But this milk is coming out. It is sucking this nipple slowly but surely. So this is what happens when like a baby sucks on a nipple, I guess. It just like slowly but surely gets a little bit of that milk. We are simulating it here with a bottle filled with almond milk. Okay, so I'll give this about 2 minutes and then I'm gonna see how much milk we ultimately extracted. Okay, so we're gonna see how much milk we ultimately got from this single milking session. That was about 5 total minutes. All right, in the moment of truth. About 1 sip of it. Okay, it still smells normal. Looks like it had a good flow through that entire suction system. How long are these cows being milked for if this is what they get after 5 minutes? They must be milked all day just to create a single gallon of milk. Wow, it makes me want to cherish my milk more. Well, I think the moral of this story is don't waste any milk because your goats and your cows are probably being milked for 7 straight days to get like at least 1 gallon based on how long this took. Cool tool though. Okay, this product is made exclusively for horses and that is a turnout sheet. So you put these giant waterproof turnout sheets on your horses and it keeps them warm and obviously not wet. So if they're outside or something, look at this thing. It is tough. It's literally called Tough One. So I'm gonna put this on and this keeps like horses healthy and stuff when it's cold and rainy outside. I'm expecting like a poncho, but I think this is really gonna show me how big horses are. I've never seen a horse blanket before. All right, first off, very heavy. It may not look like it because I'm using all of my power in my left arm, but it's also got dirt on it. Is this a used horse blanket? I'm already feeling itchy. All right, so let's see the size of a horse. How big are these things? How big is a horse? I haven't seen a horse in quite some time. This is me attempting to be a horse. This is what the size looks like. Wow, this is like the ultimate comforter. This thing is very warm. It's obviously waterproof and it covers up every inch of my body. Look at this again. I feel like a vampire. Whoa. No, I was not about to expose myself. I was just trying to be a vampire, but I could see how that could look a little bit weird. All right, I'm all for the horse blanket. I actually think it's a pretty solid look too. If you're like camping out somewhere, maybe if you're homeless and you need like a really solid blanket, I think horse blanket's underrated for sure. Actually, to really show you the size of this, I'm gonna test it out on my gorilla. Okay, well he's massive, so you get it, right? It's a huge blanket. It actually looks dwarfed when he has it on, but just trust me, this blanket's huge. I wish I was kidding about this next product, but this is a very real thing that the Karakagure Animal Hospital in Japan and the Acoustic Laboratory actually developed, and it is a dog translator. So the ultimate animal product is obviously one in which you can actually communicate with the animal, and this one is called Bowlingual, which is honestly a pretty solid name. Now, they do not sell this before, so I had to get like the last one possible on eBay from an international seller. So what you're looking at here is a relic. This thing is a beauty. Nobody has their hands on the Bowlingual dog translator. Some of the functions it promises: bark translation, body language, data analysis, home alone mode, 10 training tips, and medical references, all from this single device right here. And here we have it. Okay. All right, it looks used. It looks very used. This is how I got it. I ordered it. I just want to note, in the case the seller's watching this, you said it was new. That is not new. That has like spit on it. All right, so here we have the two devices. So we have the transmitter and the receiver. So basically this is supposed to go on an animal or a dog's collar, and then this is going to be your analysis device that you look at and you do everything through it. So here's the menu right here. We're going to start with bark translation. Okay, let's do this. Bark translation. Oh, waiting for bark. Okay, the first bark I'm going to do is going to be like a really mean one. Ooh, analysis complete. I can't get my point across. Frustrated? I would say I was a little more angry, but I guess that kind of works. Okay, let me do sad. Ooh, okay, here we go. Analysis complete. I can't get my point across. Is this frustrated again? Do I just sound frustrated? Okay, let me try this again. This time I'm gonna do like curious. Okay, big time here. Analysis complete. I don't like you either. Huh? On guard. Does this thing just have like two settings, on guard and frustrated? All right, what about happy? Okay, if this is not, I'm sorry to interrupt, but assertive. I don't know if I'd call happy assertive, but I guess it was a more positive tone to this one. Okay, this machine is absolute junk. This is a junk machine, full-on scam. I could see why it's discontinued, illegal in the United States, because you are selling a dream right here. I mean, who can't just like interpret the level of like bark that's happening from their dog? Why do you need a device to like possibly guess it? Not a big fan of this, so I mean, I'm glad I tried it, but it was definitely not worth whatever amount of money I spend on that. Moving on. The next animal product we'll be testing out is a horse massager. So this is a giant horse massage machine in which you put it on the back of a literal horse and then just like get its knots out or whatever issues horse have in their backs. So this thing's huge. It has a lot of power. It's not intended for humans whatsoever, but of course, as the guinea pig, I'm going to test this out. Wow, this thing is big and heavy. Looks almost like a jackhammer, but for your back. It does have good cushion on it, so I feel like it actually won't hurt too badly, but it is going to be a lot of pressure. Now, I do like massages. I've actually gotten one on the channel before, but I've never gotten something like this. I've never had a horse massage. All right, just to show you how strong this is low mode, and then this is high mode. I don't know if you're able to see how fast this is moving, but the vibrations are crazy. My hands are just getting massaged holding this, so I can't imagine what the horse feels on the other side of this. It's a good amount of pressure. I'm gonna apply it to my back first. Michael is going to start it on low mode and then just treat me like a horse, like wherever you think a horse would need this. Put it low first, and then we'll transition to high. It's like your entire back is being covered just by a single push. This is low? Oh my gosh. And the crazy thing is, you know, the horses don't even feel this. Like, they're just brushing this off. Oh, this is nice. This should be in every single massage parlor across the US. Let's jack it up to high now. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, high. Oh, that is covering like a third of the back. Okay, now I'm gonna try it on my belly. Oh, wow. It's like it's digesting the food for me. It's just moving everything around in there. Lower stomach. Let's try the legs. Okay, and I just have one more area I want to try. I'm just kidding. Okay, huge fan of the horse massage gun. This thing is very therapeutic, and I think all humans should have this or be introduced to these things. Yes, it's big and scary, but if you put this on your back, you will feel instant relief and relaxation. I'm a little bit nervous about this next animal product because this is meant for full-on livestock. I'm talking cattle, bull, and cows, because we have an actual electric prod. So a prod is basically what you use to kind of like move cattle because they're so big, so it kind of sends like an electric shock, and it tries to like move them basically. So it's not a brander, because those are even crazier when they like brand the cows, but it's pretty close to that. So I'm going to try it on myself, a mere human who probably weighs like a fourth of a cow. I'm like 185 pounds, so how heavy is a cow? Are cows 1,000 pounds, or is that crazy? Okay, yeah, they're 1,100 pounds. Look at me, I'm like the cow-akinator. So in theory, I should be able to take on a little bit of this shock. Now, I will note there is a warning on this that says, caution, don't immerse in water, don't use it on children and small animals. Well, I am neither a children or a small animal. I am a full-sized man. Wow, this thing is beefy. Okay, wait a second. This is huge. This is very big, much bigger than I expected. Oh, so this thing actually expands out like this. Okay, now that I have this up and running, my first test on who I'm going to zap is going to be this big guy right here. I don't know if he's like conducive to electricity, but nonetheless, I'm going to try and burn him up because I love him, but not today. All right, here we go. Where should I shop him? It's not working. Nothing? Okay, what else can I use? Oh! You hear that? I'm shocking him. He's just too big to feel it. All right, well, if it didn't work on the monkey, that means I'm gonna have to do it on something more obvious, like this metal spoon right here. So I know this is gonna work. It's probably gonna have some sparks flying. So what I'm about to do, I'm a trained professional. Do not try this at home, but I'm going to zap the metal spoon and hopefully it doesn't like ruin anything. So let's see if we can generate a spark here. Woo, instant replay on that. Jeez, sparks flying and everything. Okay, this thing is kind of scary if it gets into the wrong hands. Imagine you had like a bunch of metal on you, wearing like a watch or something, and you get zapped with this bad boy. Yeah, this thing is pretty intense. I was gonna try it on myself, but I do not think that's in my best interest. So I'm going to just kind of end it there and move on from this because this is a very scary device and I don't recommend anybody purchasing this unless you have cattle in a farm, which is probably a very, very small percentage of people watching this. But if you are a farmer, hello. This next product has been for race horses and it's used after some of their longer races when their legs are sore, and it's an ice cast. So basically what it is this giant ice pack that you just wrap around their leg, and then it's just like a sleeve that kind of sits there overnight, and apparently it's super, super cooling. So it's like an ice pack on steroids that you put on one of your limbs. And since I don't have 4 legs, but I do have one, I'm going to put my arm in this. Okay, already very cold. I just broke the ice pack, so now it's just full steam ahead. Oh, that's cold. Do we have this technology? Right? If you're sore, why don't you just go on like a full ice pack suit, you know, just like a lymphatic suit in which you just like lay back and just be super cooling. Let me try this on the leg. This is a great feeling. I don't know if like elite level athletes use this, but they definitely should after like a long race or something, because my entire leg is cooled and as a result, my entire body is. It's also kind of a look too. I feel like a professional soccer player. But since I'm not hurt right now, there's not a ton of utility to this. It just feels nice, honestly. But yeah, if you guys want to buy yourselves a horse ice pack, it's better than a human ice pack because it's larger. And who doesn't like bigger? Bigger is better. Not always, but most of the time. The next product we'll be testing out is made exclusively for dogs because it's an ultrasonic dog trainer, which is essentially just an ultrasonic sound that's emitted from this device and only dogs can hear it. So I'm going to play it right now and chances are you can't hear it. But if you have a dog nearby, for the next 5 seconds, listen up to this sound and let me know whether or not your dog goes crazy. So here's the device right here. And when I click this button, I'm gonna hold it right into the mic. Your dog, maybe your cat, maybe your little brother, because young people can also possibly hear this, are gonna go crazy. Or if you could hear it too, that's kind of absurd. Maybe you just have dog ears. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I mean, that's it. That's it right there. That, if you do that to your dog's gonna go crazy. In addition to that sound, this thing also has a flashlight on it. So there's some lights. You can do a flashing light, a solid light, and if you have a cat, look what this has. See that red dot? Follow the red dot, follow the red dot, follow the red dot, follow the red dot. Oh, you lost it. There it is, there it is. Oh no, is it going on me? Is it going on me? Oh, that kind of burns. That's not healthy. All right, so pretty cool device. Obviously meant for dogs because only dogs could hear it, but let me know if you heard it because I kind of heard a little bit of it, I think, but I'm also approaching 30, so your boy might not be able to hear these things anymore. Moving on. This next product on my lap isn't technically a product made for animals, but rather an animal itself, but not actually even an animal, a robot animal. Because this is Kubo, which is a cushion-shaped robot with a tail that apparently cures your depression. It says it wags to your touch to give you a sense of comfort. This is straight from Japan, if you haven't noticed. So this took a very long time to come. This is secret technology that, for whatever reason, I have my hands on. It was about $200, and it promises the world. It looks exactly like a cat, and it's supposed to cure any sort of depression or anxiety, and apparently a lot of animals use this to comfort themselves, and humans too. Here it is, the unboxing. Wow, that looks like a dead raccoon, but it is not. Ooh, it feels good. So this is a robot? How is this a robot? Looks like a stuffed animal. Okay. Oh, it has like an on button in the back on its bosom. I don't get what it's supposed to do. Okay, so it has 3 features: lifelike tail movements, right weight and size to cuddle, and soft and smooth fur. So I basically just hold it and it moves its tail, so then it feels as if it's real. Who is using this? Do like dogs like to cuddle against this? Humans like to cuddle against this? This was $200, a stuffed animal with a moving tail. It doesn't even have legs. Like, this doesn't even move around. I'm gonna give you my honest take on whether or not this cures any sort of anxieties or stresses I have at the moment. So give me like 2 seconds to relax with this. Not gonna lie, that calmed me a good amount. It does look fairly lifelike. I just can't get over it. I thought it was a true robot, like this thing was gonna be on the ground moving, but if you put it on the ground, this thing doesn't go anywhere. As you can see, all it does is just literally wag its tail. Why am I just always getting scammed, it feels like? Terrible animal product. This next animal product is made for dogs, and wow, this thing looks intense, but this is a dog treat puzzle. So it's really good for a dog's cognition to do these things. So when you're giving it a treat, you should be hiding it in some sort of puzzle so it's learning at the same time. All I know is if I had to do a puzzle every time I wanted to eat something, I'd be pretty frustrated. So shout out to dogs for even going through this. This is just like humans imposing our will on them. With that being said, this is what it looks like. It literally looks like one of the world's hardest puzzles. Like, what? There's like a safe on it. I don't think a dog's gonna know how to put this up. Okay, so like if you wanna basically get a snack that's going to be hidden underneath here, oh, you have to like rotate it. Wow, this is tough. Okay, I see. So you have to push it around. Can I not even solve this? I don't even know how to get it in there. Whoa, and then you can move something out on the side as well. I would just like to know what animal is solving this incredibly difficult puzzle. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm like not even as a human, I can't solve this. Okay, so let's do this in practice. So here's this cloth. Let's say I'm a dog. I'd put this in, shut all of this, mix it up, and now it's time for me to find the cloth. I don't know where the cloth is. Okay, so I'm already missing the cloth. All right, well, let's get it started. Oh, that moves it around, I see. Nothing, but is it still in here? No, where'd it go? Oh, I found it. Okay. All right. So I found the cloth, but I am 99.9% positive I did that wrong. But I'm not a dog, so if I solve it in my own way, I solve it in my own way. That's part of being a human, and that's why these animal products don't work on us. Although it definitely did. The next animal product I'm going to be testing is a bear and mountain lion attack deterrent spray. So if you're ever in the wild, make sure you bring this with you, and I'm going to test it out on none other than our friend right here. Because if you'll recall, his eyes are currently not in the best of shape because of an incident that he was unfortunately in that had nothing to do with me. So once again, do not try to get your hands on this. I am a trained professional, so I'll be testing this out within the confines of a safe environment. Let's do this. All right, so we're ready to go. When you press down on this, it apparently just comes shooting out. So I'm going to shoot it at the gorilla right now. 3, 2, 1. Oh, dang, that has a long distance to it. This room is uninhabitable for the next 30 minutes. It has to air out. I did 2 sprays. It feels like this entire room was just pepper sprayed. Staying on the theme of bears, this next animal product we're gonna be trying out is a bear-proof food container. So if you're hiking or hunting and you wanna make sure your food does not get eaten by bears or even attract bears, what you're gonna use is this barrel right here. This thing is pretty huge, but apparently you're required to use it if you're out in the wilderness, just to ensure that the bears are not interacting with humans much. Even on here, you'll see it says save the bears. So it's apparently for the bears, this product, even though it robs them of getting some food and some lunches. But the way that it works, and it's actually human proof as well, unless you have a coin on you, is you put the food inside of here at the bottom of this barrel capsule, and then you just twist this thing on. And since bears' claws are unable to fit within this coin slot here, they can't effectively twist it and open it up. Here it is all tightened on. And you are not getting into this thing unless you have a coin or a key or something that could twist these 2 locks right here open. I mean, to put it to a test, I don't doubt this necessarily, but I'm gonna try to beat this down to see if I could open it up. I'll try to use the same sort of strength that a bear would have because part of me thinks I could get into this. All right, just to test this. Okay, nothing. I'm gonna put it on the floor and just beat it. All right, well, this bear trap is definitely as difficult to open as it looks. I mean, I couldn't break it with an aluminum bat. I don't think there's any other way to break it unless, of course, you have a key. So just don't leave your keys out and make sure the bears don't have opposable thumbs and you should be good. All right, guys, that was a lot of fun. Some pretty crazy ones in here between the bear trap and then the dog shock collar and then some of the bear-proof canisters and the spray and all that loud noise. So I will not be doing anything like this again. It was quite dangerous, but I hope you guys enjoyed. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more content, make sure to click here or click here. Otherwise, subscribe on your way out and I'll see you next time. Peace.